Now that also leads us to the limitations of ChatGPT and these GPT models. When working with ChatGPT, certain kinds of inputs simply aren't allowed, because of this moderation program, which in the end scans all inputs and outputs before allowing them. But there also are some other limitations you should be aware of. For example, limited training data. As mentioned, a huge amount of data was used for training the model. But since training such a complex model does indeed take very long, it actually takes multiple months to train such a model, training data has to be cut off at a certain point of time. For example, GPT 3.5 only has data until September 2021. So if you're asking questions that would require knowledge past September 21, ChatGPT would not be able to help you. So that's one limitation to keep in mind. In addition, it's also really important to keep in mind that even though these responses which you get from ChatGPT can seem very logical and magical, it's about patterns, not logic. As mentioned, ChatGPT predicts words. It assigns probabilities and picks words based on probabilities. It doesn't really understand you, even though it often seems like it does. You can sometimes see this when asking ChatGPT for the result of some mathematical calculation, especially when forcing it to give you just the result without any extra explanation. Since ChatGPT is no calculator and can't do any logical thinking, it's just trying to predict a word, in this case a number, based on some probabilities. And therefore here, for example, it predicted 104, which is wrong. The answer, of course, would be 82. Now, by the way, chances are that if you're running this example, you get a different response, maybe even the right response, because ChatGPT, whilst using probabilities, also has a certain randomness factor built in so that it doesn't always generate exactly the same words. But either way, it can't think logically. It only predicts words based on probabilities combined with that slight randomness factor. Now, one other limitation you should be aware of is that ChatGPT, in its raw form, can only handle and output text. It can't search the internet and it can't execute code, for example. Now, I will say that this is not entirely true if you're using ChatGPT plugins, which at the point of time where we're creating this course are not publicly available. So this plugins feature is not publicly available, but if you have access to it, indeed you can enhance ChatGPT so that it, for example, could be able to actually perform web searches. But if it's just ChatGPT without those plugins, it's not able to do that. Later in the course, though, I will actually show you how you could enhance GPT, these GPT models, yourself with third-party tools. But out of the box, if you just have ChatGPT without plugins, it can really just predict and generate text. There's no built-in calculator, as you can see, and also no built-in web browser or search engine or anything like that.